Yeah, Kwame. The banking issue,
Yeah.
Kwame. The first speaker, Mr. Obriyabua, I have learned something from him, a lot from him. I kept quiet, and at a point, Ubekasa was lecture hall.
Yeah.
And I would have wished that and Baba Studio has it so that you will learn more. Teach us or lecture us much better than today. Because I was learning seriously. Kwame. Sir, there happens is here.
Yeah.
Set sa padia. And then there was no need to clean. They do the clean up.
Banking sector clean up.
Yeah, banking sector clean up. Kwame, listen to me. The banking sector clean up nearby. Some of us were made to understand. Say they cleaned up the banking sector, because of mismanagement, and some of them because of greed. 18 year that cleanup exercise.
Yeah.
So far, Capital Plus Bank, for example, which tend to be Capital Bank at that time, sponsoring Ghana Premier League, Dr. Otabe's bank, were made to understand the reason why that bank, their license was revoked. And they say, when the banking was facing problem, there was a time. Government gave them money, financial injection, to inject into the bank, to revive the bank again.
Yeah.
But they used Sikano Abindia Momo financial bank. And they could establish another bank. Ama, the original bank was still suffering. You understand? So I catch him and said, such a bank, Uruboku on license, Kwame, can your problem?
Yeah. Because Omo needs to share.
So. But Kwame, nobody complained. Say banks say collapse Omunano. Ubia for Sikada. Me honestly speaking, I was following this keenly at that time. Because if you are into current affairs, you have to record it. You follow issues so that you'll be able to tell people, be an update and all this stuff. Kwame, me no man da say obi complain say Mako bank we say. Though despite that, papa no upon greedy I buy me a TS say ye di sika mo so mo inject our banking sector or bank na bank no sorry nyina no omo dey establish different bank, but we did not hear somebody was complaining say the sika ko come down. Me I never agreed with Nana Mensa. Number one. How Nam1 was using his money in this country, wasting a very same kofu at depositors or man on Becca and Kofobia. They did not contribute a quota, a dime, and I say contribution Kwame. Ultimate developer bank into any form, any BBA Kwame, and the man was pending on them uselessly. When there was a video, I buy Becca wedding, no dinner bronze so no $2. Edugunuso, the cars or Thomas celebrities, the house that you bought for Shatawale, showing off all this stuff. That's fine. But Kwame, me man tiso be a complaint say best bank did sikara. Upon all this, me I disagree with Nanapia, Mensa. But I did not see a single person I do what say until say you better touching men's gold. No, uncle had in Sanka Sika. So if
it be an uncle, you be drew her.
Come in and baby say if send the future, futuristic, almost futuristic, financial experts. No, say future no, a benye bibi to say pram ne noble dreams monwa. Kwame, we could have find a way. Said this has created an employment. We say abwa and kofo. So let us support the guy to do things properly. Especially whereby abide by your Becca say the guy is operating illegally. We could have find a way. I did this guy on a good track. Because at a point an apia mensa, no. The American watch say, come just imagine. Just imagine. We have cleaned up this banking sector. And we're facing a problem. You face it in the way back. No?
Yeah.
That problem is gradually coming. What is the sense in collapsing the banks? And imagine that, listen to me. 34 banks were reduced to 23. Means that 11 banks were collapsed at that time. Some banks need collapse nationwide 11 banks. So no be out 200 workers. Times 11 at that time. Look at Nipa Momakotrefi. Was Dr. Otabe Diana ne collapse, we gave them money to inject. We could have done the same, Kwame. Per the money that we used, cleaning up the banking sector. Imagine that 347 microfinance institutions collapsed at that time. 15 savings loans were collapsed, and 8 finance houses were also collapsed. Amount to 370 financial institutions. So 370 financial institutions. If at that time we were supporting them and prosecuting and confront, they said the idea twisting. And a yama banks no and wo and ye pesika bidia room and a year restructure ye ama at the naive worker not to honor ye innocent was saying naive. What do you say? No ma air cost for bank no or maintaining a duma and only 1,000 Ghana cedis a month and I come in. I'm telling you, Neke. I listened to Gabi Ochedako, and he said that look, when the cleanup exercise was going on, they went to Akufo-Addo's house, president, and he was crying. President didn't like the idea. The president didn't like, say, you clean up the banking sector and Kofu Lusu job at that time. He said Akufo-Addo took a pain and he was crying at that time. But if we are taking a pain, and there are some people coming. We could have maintained the banks and prosecute the people. Imagine that. See, I can say, Ecophobia no more Bank of Ghana. Dr. One per time. Monitoring evaluation was 0. Because in the banking sector, when you want to establish a bank, there's a duly and the legal process you have to go through. The money that you have to get. And some what your establish your offices. And some of the banks, they did not even pay that money. Friends, who were, that's the prime rate. Friends, and conform now for would you establish your offices in the regions and start collecting. You collect do level be the bayo say. People were doing this as a banks. And conform Madam, your father said, Deputy Bank of Ghana, former Deputy Bank of Ghana Governor, Madam AC Amira Filidino, he made us to understand that these people will be prosecuted. Because AC Awazi, he said, that banks now manage bank no banks no. These people be prosecuted, including Kofua, no more Bank of Ghana, and they conspire and connived with some people to establish banks with empty banks and educate Kofusika. They'll be prosecuted, and the best there coming. If only one person at Weston is the only person that be prosecuted and was suffered there, then how come that we collapse the banks? If you cannot prosecute and Kofua or be a corporate, how come that we collapse the banks? Today, people are saying, I like the way you question our kind. We are in election year.
Yeah.
Now, assembly fear. Come now, assembly fear. MPP reduced 500,000 votes. It could be
in 2020.
In 2020 elections. It could be that way. It could be, Kwame. It could be. Jamaica, what I say.
Yeah.
So please, We have to be very careful.
Banks
The albino, yes, albino has to find a way to solve the current banking system situation. Now, come to the people that are saying that the tablet in the bread school for Quran. I don't get Ghanaians. How do we think as a Ghanaians? So, because there's a sector going down, and the different sector are a fund within that sector supporting and upgrading the system, developing the system. What kind of thinking is this? Do we have to think this as a developing country? No, Kwame. Dr. Nkrumah Ebeya Akosombo said the same thing. That we don't have money. Ghana is suffering. Why do you have to do Akosombo? Why we can borrow power from somewhere? Today, if you think like that, Kwame, we cannot never move forward. I remember vividly. Let me tell you something, Kwame. Who read UNICEF? United Nations. Yeah, no problem. United Nations. They are saying, when you go to China, 1.4 billion population. 1.3 billion population in India. 2008-2007. Their population was 1.1 and 1.2 respectively. Kwame. Okay, so people are only eating from garbage, and they cannot live up to $1 a day. Only over 500 million from these two countries. But yet, these people were eating from garbage. India for $30 million at the Ghana's FNC presidential palace. Kwame, don't they have a priority? China gave us a grant. They gave us money. $3 billion, Professor Tamil's time. They gave us money to inject into our economy for a year, a major infrastructure project. But people were eating from garbage at that time. We took money, $3 million, this country, and the command Haiti for, say, disaster, 2010. But that time, Potak for strike. At that time.
Very well.
Minister of Education at that time. They were on strike, Potak. So if you don't say, you face a radical, you face a decision, we can never move forward as a country. Let us find a way to solve that, you understand? But it is good. Sa Korabi Obeko School or what tablet. Na Adiana yet, we are moving forward. And you know, say, kind of have crazy and paper. You see your father say, paperless, I always swear they can't, It is going all over the world. Paperless digitalization. And you will say, your textbook, your everything will be on the tablet. You will be having people to service them for you. 450 ebe distribute 1 million. Say a baby aba and what this had in a twice. Move forward as a country.
All right.
Let's do that.
Thank you.